Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your news report, second stimulus check update, and second stimulus package update for December 27th. Happy Sunday everybody, and hope you're having a great day so far. Now we have a lot of breaking news in regards to your second stimulus check and the unemployment benefits.
My question to you is, do you think the votes are there to override the president's veto on this multi-billion-dollar, highly bipartisan defense bill?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. This is something we've done for 50-some straight years. It was vetoed for nonsensical reasons, this whole Section 230, which has nothing to do with national defense or the NDAA. Somebody just got in the president's ear and convinced him. And so we had way more than two-thirds votes to pass this. I don't understand. I could not justify if I voted for this bill and then voted to sustain the president's veto instead of override it. I do not know how you justify that besides saying, I'm just going to do what the president wants. This is a great bill. This goes after China, Russia. It does a lot to shore up our cyber defenses, which, as we've seen, are extremely vulnerable. To sustain the president's veto after you voted for this bill, I just don't understand.
You don't understand, but are you confident that enough of your fellow Republicans...
However, folks, that's what President-elect Joe Biden said about the current election and the current state of America. By the way, do you agree with President-elect Joe Biden, and do you think that he will do a good job in leading our country? Leave your comments down below. Now, in regards to his second stimulus check, with just a few weeks left in Congress, and President Donald Trump preoccupied with the election aftermath, the path appears more murky than ever for a deal to be brokered before the lame duck session or during the lame duck session, which is the period in November and December before new Congress and President take power in January.
Trump has not signed the bill, so what do you think is going to happen next?
So this just shows the chaos of the whole thing. I was on a call with Secretary Mnuchin, and he had talked about getting to this point, having negotiated, presumably on behalf of the President of the United States. That was his person at the table. They came to an agreement. I mean, none of us totally like the bill. It's the nature of legislating. You're not going to end up with anything perfect. But we passed it because this was the agreed upon number. It's what the president negotiated. And then for him to come out and say, now I'm going to veto it for the $2,000 checks, fine. If you want to make it $2,000 checks, negotiate that from the beginning. Let's have the discussion after this bill is signed, because right now we're at a point where people are left out in the dark. But to play this old switcheroo game, which is just kind of like, I don't get the point, I don't understand what's being done, why? Unless it's just to create chaos and show power and be upset because you lost the election. Otherwise, I don't understand it, because this just has to get done. Too many people...
Congress, by the way, did leave town before the election without passing a stimulus deal, and they have failed to reach an agreement after months of contentious negotiations. Both chambers will return to Washington next week with hopes of a deal. Historically, the lame duck session has not led to a large bipartisan pieces of legislation, and thus far leaders in both parties have not displayed any willingness to relent on key demands. Making matters worse, the relationship between the top two negotiators, which is House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, have broken down long before the election, and it's still unknown whether the president will even support a deal if one is brokered. Though a stimulus deal could remain the top priority, Congress will have little time to resolve all its policy differences, reach an agreement, and then pass it through both chambers before the House and Senate leave in December. The House is done with this year December 10th, and the Senate leaves December 18th. Democrats have countered that Republican proposals are too small. On Tuesday, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called Republican proposals inadequate, assuming Democrats lose two outstanding Senate races where Republicans hold sizable leads. Senate Democrats are likely to remain in the minority in the next session of Congress.
But at the bottom line is that's the process of negotiating. And then at the end to say, okay, we've gotten to this after all this negotiation, now I'm just going to veto it and leave everybody in a lurch. The president then needs to put out his option. The other thing he's done is conflated two totally different things, the COVID bill and then the omnibus bill, which is just general government spending. This is money that would have been spent whether we had COVID or not. It includes things like foreign aid, but to then say that we're giving money to other countries in the COVID bill is disingenuous, and it totally conflates two different issues. And it doesn't do a service to the American people to explain what's going on and how these things are different.
I want to look ahead to January 6th. When the Electoral College results will be before a joint session of Congress. President Trump and Vice President Pence met with some Republicans at the White House this week.
If Democrats win both runoff elections in Georgia, they would hold 50 seats, giving Vice President-elect Kamala Harris the tie-breaking vote. For months, the top Democratic leaders in the White House have worked to come to a bipartisan compromise on another stimulus bill. The talks were dizzying at times, with negotiations called off multiple times, only to restart with promises that leaders are close to striking a deal. But we all know that has not happened yet. Republicans and Democrats offered competing legislation to fill the void over the months. Bills that were doomed even before they were introduced, as the other side scorched key provisions. Republicans are leery about a high dollar bill because of the soaring national debt, while Democrats are pressing for a larger package that would include funding for a host of programs. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to my channel, click the notifications bell, and give this video a like. Until next time, have a great day.